Oh, God is good. God is great. God is great.
One fear is public humiliation, okay? I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not afraid of it because I've had these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to like beat your walls in. Huge illuminated 666 in red. Yeah. And I went from that to that to that, and he started smiling. And I thought, oh no, Chris Walken is the Antichrist.
Girl, if you watched the Oscars this year, you might want to grab some holy water, light a candle, and sit down, because what I'm about to tell you could change the way you see Hollywood forever. There are rumors circulating about why Denzel Washington and his wife, Pauletta Washington, allegedly left Sean Diddy Combs' Oscar after-party in 2003. According to these claims, the situation was far darker than anyone expected. Some theories suggest that actors only receive major awards after going through certain initiations, and that what happens at exclusive after-parties goes far beyond simple drinks and conversation. These alleged after-parties are said to take place in secret locations, attended by only a select few, but there is no verified evidence to support these claims. People have also pointed to comments attributed to Mel Gibson and Denzel Washington, suggesting they tried to hint at deeper issues in the industry, although these interpretations remain speculative. Many also remember the moment when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. Afterward, Denzel reportedly told Will, "At your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you." Some people now view that quote in a more ominous light, though it can also be interpreted as general life advice. There are also discussions involving Michael B. Jordan and other celebrities, but these connections are largely based on online speculation rather than confirmed facts. As for the Oscar statue itself, it was designed by Cedric Gibbons in 1928. While some claim it resembles figures from ancient Egyptian mythology like Ptah, Osiris, and Soka, there is no solid evidence that it represents anything beyond its official artistic design. In the end, these ideas continue to spread online, but most of them remain unproven theories rather than verified reality.
He said, man, have you seen the image of Ptah? The image of Ptah is exactly the same as the image of the Oscar. The Oscar is the highest award that is given by the National Academy of Artists and Craftsmen. Ptah was the patron god of Menepher, the city of Memphis. He was the patron god of artists and craftsmen.
Now, the man behind all of this was Cedric Gibbons, a powerful MGM executive who designed the Oscar trophy back in 1928. Everyone assumed it was simply a golden knight standing on a film reel, harmless, symbolic, and clean. However, some online theories claim that Gibbons allegedly drew inspiration from ancient figures like Ptah, suggesting hidden meanings were embedded into the design. These claims go as far as saying the trophy represents an initiation ritual, though there is no verified evidence to support this. The speculation doesn't stop there. Some viewers have pointed to recent Academy Awards stage designs, claiming they include symbolic imagery. According to these interpretations, elements like pyramids or geometric patterns resemble themes often associated with secret societies or ancient traditions. Because of this, many people online believe these are not coincidences, but intentional symbols. These ideas have led to broader discussions about alleged hidden practices in Hollywood, though they remain unproven. Some have also referenced Mel Gibson, claiming he spoke about secret after-parties as far back as 1998. Suggesting that exclusive gatherings took place after major award shows like the Oscars. However, these claims are largely based on speculation and have not been confirmed. Overall, while these theories continue to circulate widely, there is no solid evidence backing the more extreme claims.
Points of interest about women, you know.
There's a producer I know, successful producer, I will not mention names, but his whole opinion about women on film, from beginning to end, is very brief. He says women on film, either naked or dead. Both is better.
Now, even though Mel Gibson didn't name the exact producer he was referring to, many people have speculated that he was talking about Harvey Weinstein. A year after those alleged comments, Weinstein was involved in the film Frida, starring Salma Hayek. She later spoke publicly about her experience, saying she felt pressured into performing a scene she was uncomfortable with. Even after expressing her reluctance, these revelations became part of a wider conversation about abuse of power in Hollywood. However, broader claims, such as the idea that most Oscar-winning actresses had to perform explicit scenes to win, are not supported by verified evidence and remain widely debated. Overall, while some real incidents have come to light, many of the more extreme claims online are based on speculation rather than confirmed facts.
You know,
Right.
it used to be, you get naked, you get nominated.
Mel Gibson also revealed in a 1998 interview that when he first moved from Australia to Hollywood, he thought it would be all about filmmaking. However, he quickly realized it was much deeper than that. Yes, films were being made, but there were also many questionable things happening behind the scenes that made him uncomfortable. He claimed that when he asked his colleagues about it, they all seemed to be in on whatever was going on. He even made controversial remarks about Christopher Walken, suggesting unusual behavior, though such claims are unverified and widely debated. A few months ago, people might not have taken these statements seriously or may have questioned his sanity. But after revelations like the Jeffrey Epstein files and reports about Sean Diddy Combs's parties, some of these claims no longer seem so far-fetched, though they still remain speculative.
Over here, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand and nobody was really bothering to explain it to me. And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, Weird Town, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track. That some of your worst nightmares were me on a rooftop in New York. I said, hey, can I talk to you? And he said, sure. And he floated in, sideways, through a crowd of people. He was wearing black. And it was like one of those old vampire movies where they don't walk, but they glide. And he was a dancer, so he has he's very, graceful.
Yeah.
And he moved sideways and he just sat down in a chair next to me. And it kind of frightened me. And he's a very smart guy. And we started talking and I didn't, say much of anything about reading the script, nothing. I just started talking about the Middle Ages and he began to talk to us, and we swapped because I'd read this book on torture, and I tried to recall some of the most heinous things I'd ever read in this book, and he was like, oh, and he'd try and top it, and and my assistant was there, and he left because he couldn't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
The air had turned cold, and then he left, and I wanted to leave because I knew that I didn't want to work with him, and he was getting scary. And then I turned around and it was on top of the Peninsula Hotel. I turned around to avoid his steady gaze at one point, and I was looking at a building with the top of the sixes on it. So there was a huge illuminated 666 in red. And I went from that to that to that, and he started smiling. And I thought, oh no, Chris Walken is the Antichrist.
According to these claims, it was right after this that the industry reportedly began to turn against Mel Gibson. However, he didn't back down. In fact, he suggested that Hollywood's opposition to his film The Passion of the Christ stemmed from his refusal to abandon his faith and participate in practices they allegedly promoted, though these claims remain unverified and speculative.
Resistance to that movie.
Oh yeah, no, there was
which I thought was very strange. There was like Hollywood resistance to that movie. Like people didn't like that you were making it. It seemed like
there was a lot of opposition to it, and I don't know. I think if you ever hit on that subject matter, you're gonna get people going, because
of course
it's big subject matter.
Resistance, first of all, from secular Hollywood, where for whatever reason Christianity is the one religion that you're allowed to disparage.
Then, according to these claims, he attempted to draw attention to alleged criminal networks through the film Sound of Freedom, a project he reportedly had to finance on his own since no major studio was willing to take it on. The film highlights child trafficking operations across the industry, and some speculate that powerful elites were unhappy because it publicly exposed activities they had allegedly been involved in for decades. It's important to note, however, that while the film addresses real-world issues, many of the broader claims linking Hollywood elites to criminal activity remain unverified and largely speculative.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
When it comes to Denzel Washington, he hasn't been as outspoken as Mel Gibson. However, some people believe this may be because he only discovered the alleged demonic activities at the Oscars after he won. Remember how he and his wife, Pauletta Washington, reportedly left Sean Diddy Combs' 2003 Oscar afterparty. Rumors suggest that what happened that night went far beyond what the media reported. According to one source, Denzel screamed, "You don't respect anyone." Allegedly, he and his wife had been partying until dawn with Diddy, saw something troubling, and stormed out. Although the exact details of what Denzel witnessed were never revealed, speculation has been rampant. Some have even referenced the now missing model Gabriella Rico, citing a video from 2009 that allegedly shows her after escaping an Oscar afterparty. These accounts remain unverified, but they continue to fuel online discussion.